Cold Storage is directed by Jonny Campbell, and it stars Georgina Campbell, Keery, Liam Neeson, and Sosie Bacon. And in this brand new sci-fi comedy, when a highly contagious fungus escapes a sealed facility, two young employees, joined by a grizzled bioterror operative, must survive the wildest night shift ever to save humanity from extinction. Now, I was very excited to see this movie. I thought the trailers looked really fun, and it stars Liam Neeson, one of my favourite actors. And even when I saw the not so pretty reviews for this movie, I was still quite excited because I like really dumb movies sometimes, as you know. But unfortunately, this movie was a big disappointment. Now, this movie's not bad. It does have its entertaining moments, but as a whole, it's just kind of dull. And by the end of it, you feel nothing. And I think the biggest reason why that is because this movie is basically just an hour and a half of telling you what's happening and what things mean. The opening 10 minutes especially is a real drag to get through because it's just Sosie Bacon explaining this fungus through words, not showing. This movie breaks the first rule of storytelling, show don't tell. And it just constantly goes on throughout this movie. Literally every single scene is explaining this fungus or explaining something about the character through words. We hardly know anyone's backstories, so all the characters are just really uninteresting as well. There's no one ready to root for. And unfortunately, I do think some of the characters in this movie were really annoying. Keery is an actor that I really like, but he plays a character in this movie that is so annoying, so talkative, that you just want to punch him in the face. And you're trying to buy this connection with Georgina Campbell's character, who is like the only competent, likeable enough character in this movie. But you don't, because there's hardly any chemistry and there's no real starting point to why they may like each other. And somehow this movie commits the biggest sin ever and makes Liam Neeson not entertaining. How do you do that? He's trying to do his standard dark, dry persona, and it works really well for comedy movies. He was fantastic in The Naked Gun, but all of the charm from that movie is not here, unfortunately. He's not funny, he's not charming. The running gag for him is that he's got a really bad back and that he really struggles to shoot. Oh, so funny. In fact, all of the comedy in this movie fell flat. I think there was one time where I did a little yeah, that was and it's in the trailer.
Keep Travis calm.
Heard my name. Is he talking about me?
Could you please ask him to shut the f up?
What's he saying? We're gonna be fine.
And I also think this movie has a really bad structure problem. It's like they just had an elongated first act, just skipped over the second act, and then went straight into the third act finale. Because really this entire movie is just build-up. It's just an hour build-up. In fact, it takes about 40 minutes for the two workers to find the fungus. And even after that, there's just a bit of shooting, few kills here and there, and then it's the final battle and it just ends. So there's just no time to understand what's going on here. But I will say this movie was entertaining in some parts. I do think the way that they showcased how people get infected by the fungus was really cool. They do this thing where they go into people's bodies and you see the fungus affecting their brains and muscles and their eyes and everything. That was really cool and a nice way to visualize it. I also do think some kills were very entertaining. There are a lot of people exploding in this movie, and I will say it kind of got very stale after a while, but the first few times that it happened was really fun. And I also do think the actors do a fine job of what they're given. Keery, I did say his character was really annoying, but I will say he's clearly having fun, as is Georgina Campbell, who I thought was the best actor in this movie. Liam Neeson is trying. From what I've said, you probably think, oh, he's just phoning it in. He is trying. It's clear that he's trying to have fun, but I just don't think he's helped by the really boring character that he's trying to create. And that's really this movie's biggest problem. There's nothing that stands out, nothing to connect to. Even the way that this movie's shot, it's trying to be fancy, but it feels so out of place because nothing was set up to make it feel so stylized. In fact, the way that this movie tries to tell you that it's going to be really bonkers is at the start of the movie, after a long wall of text, it just says, pay attention, this shit's gonna get real. Wow, I'm on the edge of my seat. It's just fake style, as I like to call it. It just really wants to make you think that this movie is going to go out there, but when you actually look into it deeper, It's really not. So Cold Storage was a big disappointment. I do think it has its moments. The cast are obviously having a lot of fun. I do think there are some entertaining kills at times. I like the way that they visualised the fungus infecting people. But overall, it's just really, really stale. On a story perspective, character perspective, cinematography, just nothing really to stand out. And for me, those are the worst kind of movies, where it's not bad enough to be entertaining, not great enough to make you want to watch it again 100 times, where it's just bang in the middle, and there's just nothing to connect to. It just makes for a really standard and stale experience. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to give Cold Storage a 4.5 out of 10. And there we go, people. That was my review for Cold Storage. If you have seen this movie, do let me know your thoughts on it. Did you like it? Did you not? Let me know. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Have a good day, and see you later.